What was that? That was amazing. Oh my God. All right. Yo, let's talk about Uncle Howdy. Let's talk about the Wyatt Sick6. Let's talk all about it. I know you guys wanted to get your opinions in. So what I did is I asked you over on twitter.com/conman167 to tell me your opinions and your thoughts on Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sick6 return. This was insane. I'll give you my thoughts in the video, but let's take a look at what you guys had to say. All right, so starting off here with another YouTuber, Christian Markle. He says, I burst into tears, to be honest. Even though Bray Wyatt is gone, we could really feel his presence in that group, and it got me in the feels. As Bo Dallas said, he's not gone. His legacy lives on. Beautifully said. I mean, this is crazy cool to see Bo Dallas continuing on the legacy of Bray Wyatt with this character, and you just know Bray Wyatt's looking down and he's so proud. Ango says it's the greatest reveal of all time, and honestly, Ango, I don't know if there's any way to deny that. This reveal was certainly one of the top ones I've ever seen. The build was perfect leading into it, and just like the little pieces of the QR code and the Twitch stream and the WhatsApp stuff and the journals and these videos that were being dropped on social media, months and months of speculation revealing that, which was just amazing. I mean, look, it's hard to argue, but like I don't know who is gonna argue. That truly was one of the greatest returns of all time. And Editor J over here says this is an all-time WWE moment. Not gonna lie, I did shed a little tear when I saw that door swing open, man. I mean, I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure lots of people were brought to tears because of this. Like, I mean, I'm kind of surprised I didn't tear up over it. I think it was mostly because I just didn't know what we were about to get, and also the fact that we're witnessing some murders backstage kind of, spooked me a little bit. But yeah, it is certainly an emotional night. It's incredibly cool to see. Again, I mentioned this before, but Bo Dallas just continuing on the legacy of Bray Wyatt is just amazing. Ross Block says, when they said there would be a massacre, holy crap, did they deliver on it. Even though we knew it was happening, it doesn't mean that it would fall flat, and it sure as hell did not fall flat. Everything out of this ending was executed to perfection. Bray would be so proud. He really would. This is something Bray Wyatt would have given the 2 thumbs up at, and it really does feel like a continuation of what Bray started. Jesse Kalin says it was freaking emotional. It was freaking cool as crap. It was freaking amazing. Just know I am getting the image to start drawing that now. So she's going to do a little drawing of this. She's a great artist. Also, R.I.P. Gable. That was so amazing and so freaking well done. I think Bray would be proud. Yeah, and I think that seems to be the sentiment across a lot of fans. They made Bray proud with this. King Sympathy says this return was worth the wait. First Nikki, then Rowan, then Gacy, then Gable, R.I.P., and then Uncle effing Howdy. Cannot wait to see what they do next. Now let's talk a little bit about Gable right here. Like, it did look like Gable got absolutely offed. I mean, I would have understood if this is what they did to Ricochet on his way out, but Gable just resigned. Like, what's going on there? Did they just kill Chad? We bringing Shorty G back? Kenny Alpha says it's the best ending to Raw in a while. That's for sure. It actually got me excited. I mean, let's face it, you don't see these types of returns that often, right? So it's awesome. There's no other way to put it. I'm incredibly excited to see what's next. Nick says it was everything I wanted and more. Teared up hearing that piano. Goosebumps when she crawled out of the door. Every detail was perfect. It was all perfect. So worth the 3-hour wait. They did make us wait, eh? That countdown made it seem like it was maybe going to happen at the start of the show, and it was just teasers, and then the QR code while the show was going on, and just making us wait till the final 5-6 minutes. It was so well done. And honestly, this gif right here, cinema. yeah, R.I.P. to Chad. Sorry, Chad. Dude, I mean, like, what do you guys think's going on with Chad? I don't have any answers for this. Like, the dude clearly got targeted because he's a liar, he's a manipulator, all this stuff, but like, what? And of course, I'm going to have to show you guys the photo of this as well, because how can I not? This group right here is so cool. This is Nikki Cross on the bottom. This is Joe Gacy over here. This is Dexter Loomis. This is Eric Rowan. And this is Bo Dallas. But seriously, just incredibly cool to see this group finally come to life. It really also, again, it felt like it was just the continuation of the story that Bray Wyatt had. And like, this might be, pivoting a little bit because Bray is no longer with us. But at the end of the day, you can tell that this is part of what Bray wanted. Whether it's the presentation of the characters, whether it's the presentation of Howdy, whatever it may be, this presentation is just incredibly well done. Asmodai Sayaquil, I hope I got that right, says in 2 words, holy crap. In more, I really enjoyed it. Was concerned it was just going to be a faction despite all the build, but they've arrived with such a bang. I can't wait to see what happens next. I need it to be Monday already. And I got that same sort of feeling, man. Like, it is currently 12:55 a.m. right here when I'm recording this, and my mind can't shut off. I want to see what's next with this. I just want to see what's next with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sick6. I just need more. All right, give it to me, WWE. I need more.
Give me what I want!
Mr. Pac-Man over here says, hell yeah, my wife was confused, LMAO. I had to break down the lore like that Always Sunny meme. Hey, yo, you know what? Miss Pac-Man over there just sometimes needs to be brought into the loop, all right? You fill her in, you give her all her little yums, all right? And then she'll be good to go, all right? Teach her the story, and she'll be sucked right in. I just teach... What the fuck was that? Go ahead, leave that in. Saw7 with a really good comment saying the production made this. And I think there is something to be said about the production team, Lee Fitting and the production team over at WWE. They nailed it. The presentation of this group was perfect, and you're absolutely right. A lot of that comes from the production team. He says Wyndham would have been absolutely proud. The masks are nightmare fuel, and Nikki Cross absolutely sold this. We are in for a wild ride. So yeah, small clap over here, and I don't mean small clap in a disrespectful way. I just mean, you know, I don't want to wake anybody upstairs. Small clap, Nikki Cross, you crushed it. The Great 8 over here says, me when they arrived in WWE.
I love WWE. I love WWE. I love WWE.
That's actually so accurate. I love WWE. Blind Boy over here said, I low-key cried with happiness seeing the new Howdy look with the dreads as a tribute to Bray, and him carrying the lantern was an amazing fit. My first thought was seeing the puppets come to life, Taylor taking the mantle. Bray would be nothing but proud of his little brother. Knowing that Taylor looked up to Wyndham and wanted to be just like him, being tasked with continuing the story must have been so pressuring for him, but he's getting to carry his brother's legacy and build his own with this too. I cannot wait to see what happens. Beautiful comment, man. Yeah, well said. Macaria, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says amazing. Taylor came back on his own time when he was ready. He paid a great tribute to Wyndham, not walking through the door, not using all of his music, and it looked like he was wearing his glove, but changed it to say Bray. Overall, a beautiful return. And if you don't know what they're talking about, the one glove that Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, was wearing did say Bray, as opposed to where it used to say Hurt Heel. It was the same glove, or at least looked like the same glove, and it said Bray across the hand. Beautiful touch by towards Wyndham. These two comments right here really sum it up in a great way. I'm still at a loss for words. That was a beautiful tribute, great reveal, and one of the greatest endings to Raw. Very creative and loved every moment. That's from Ryan right there. And like, seriously, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I know I'm making this video and I'm yapping away, but like, let's be real. What more is there to say other than that was truly awesome? That was truly fantastic and like incredibly emotional, creepy at the same time. Everything it needed to be. Just like Jules is saying, that was just fucking awesome. From the first to the last second, simply perfect. I loved every single second of it. Bray is looking down at this and couldn't be more proud with how it all played out, and just it's just amazing what we watched. I'm gushing all over it, all right? I would love to add a lot more insight to this, but all I know is I need more episodes of Raw. I need to know more about this group. I need to know what's next. Why did they go after Chad Gable? Why did they kill Chad Gable? I love this little shout out right here as well. Amazing, just amazing. Thank you to Rob, Fee, Uncle Howdy, and everyone else involved for sending us down the rabbit hole again. And yeah, Rob Fee needs to get his flowers for this as well. Without Rob being the person he is and allowing these characters to develop and to actually get a chance within WWE is truly amazing. So shout out to Rob Fee for his involvement with this entire story. It was perfection. It was absolutely perfection leading up to the debut. Kylie Ann says, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. So excited that they're using Bray's last entrance music and kept the lantern. we're here. Now, I actually don't know if that's the game plan to keep the same entrance music or whatever it may be. Certainly they use the piano and certainly they use the door, but I think there's more to it. I do think that this Wyatt Sick6 is going to be slightly different than what Bray's version of it would be, but I think that's all for the best in the long term. Oh, this is really cool. I didn't think about it this way. Incredible, says Zavap, something like that. Incredible, speechless. The tribute with Dexter with the Fiend gloves, Eric Rowan with the hammer and the red circle, and Bray's entrance theme and same entrance, at least for the debut, and the details which were really fun and yeah, incredible to say the least. So just the tributes that were being paid from these members of Wyatt Six towards Bray Wyatt was just beautiful. Again, we mentioned the gloves before, but yeah, Eric Rowan, part of the Bludgeon Brothers, had that hammer, had the circle on it, paying homage to Bray as well. I'm actually really happy for Rowan that he gets this spot. Again, he definitely deserves it, and he's gone through a lot of loss, unfortunately, with the Wyatt family, first Brody Lee, and then Bray Wyatt. So, like, I'm glad Eric Rowan is back and getting another opportunity to pay homage to Bray, because that must feel really good for that man. Wow, this is a big comment right here. Erected Tadpole, what a name, says this may have been the coolest 5 minutes in wrestling history. Pure cinema. The continuous shot like you're walking through a haunted house, revealing each member individually. The Bray influence, the we're here. It was everything it needed to be. And that is a really good point. It was a continuous camera shot. I'm not sure if there was any cuts. I'd have to watch it back again just to make sure. But like, it really was just like so seamless. You walked through it. And that is something, again, with the production team and Lee Fitting. If this would have been the old guard, we would have seen 45 camera cuts. And then we also would have broke our neck from trying to strain it by doing this with all the camera. Like, it just would have been bad, all right? We would have all had headaches. And today, now we're just, we're just happy. The Wyatt Sick6 is here. Now, this is an interesting one. I was wondering if we were going to get some negative comments towards this. Corey Payne says, I ain't got all the confidence in the world for this Wyatt Six stuff. I'm hoping they can pull it off, but I'm keeping those expectations low. Hoping I'm wrong, but WWE doesn't have the best track record with this. And it's fair. That's fair. We are definitely talking about a previous regime. But I understand your concern. I don't think, though, that the fact that they presented it this way right out of the gate, I don't think WWE is going to have any issue in making this group feel like a big deal. I just don't know exactly what the story is going to be, if they're going to be involved with a lot of the wrestlers, or if there is like some morals to why they do what they do, or if they're planning on going on after championships or anything like that. I don't know, but that's certainly, I understand the concern. I hope that we don't have to worry about it that long, and they'll put those worries to rest pretty soon. They killed Gable! I know! I don't even know if that's PG. Joe Gacy, that's the tweet. That's sick, man. Joe Gacy looks really good in that character. I hope he's going to have a bright future with WWE. Incredibly talented. Oh, this is cool. Warren Max says, I wasn't a wrestling fan when Bray was around, and I'm just so grateful we get to feel a bit of that magic. This is the first supernatural character I've seen on the main roster, and I am psyched. Get ready, man. Things are about to get real crazy. Caden says, it was executed perfectly, but my main expectations are that I hope they don't get assigned to a brand and just run riot on both brands, maybe even NXT. And yeah, I guess that's kind of a fair point, man. They don't really need to be drafted to a certain brand, especially if they're gonna be committing murder backstage. They probably don't need to be drafted. They probably need to be put in a jail cell. Kodoko Hana says, I will not be able to get a good sleep tonight. Is anybody else just going to be having nightmares about the Wyatt Sick6? I mean, I know I'm going to be, dude. Like, as soon as I fall asleep, I'm just going to be seeing whatever that final image was of Nikki Cross going right up the screen. Like, Jesus. Oh, man, I just moved my camera and everything. Well, that worked out well. TJ Hayes says, can we just get a thank you for creative for this Wyatt Sick storyline? Absolutely. Thank you, creative, for actually having the balls to run with this type of story, because this is so out of the box. But also shout out to Bo Dallas, to everybody involved with this story, whether it be Rob Fee on the back end or whether it be any writers with it, whether it be Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, all of them. They all deserve a thank you because they pulled that off perfectly. Everybody involved made that thing a success, a massive success. Big Boy Daily says, absolutely loved everything about it. However, one thing I thought of was that the wrestlers that were featured in the massacre are not actually a part of any storyline of sorts. Maybe they just wanted to be a part of the experience. Chad Gable is different, though he might be. Interesting take, basically saying all the people that got destroyed backstage were just kind of there. They weren't the center point of it, and it wasn't really that big of a deal that they were just laid out backstage, but Chad Gable was a center point of it. They made a very clear point that Chad Gable had the blood trickling out of the side of his head, and then they went right to Uncle Howdy after that. So Chad is obviously involved in this story somehow, but I don't know if any of the other wrestlers that were down in the back are also going to be a part of it. Like I think we saw Braun Strowman that was down. I'm not exactly sure who else. There's lots of people that could tell you, but yeah, they might be a part of it. They might not be, but Chad Gable certainly is going to be. Crazy Mike says, that was amazing. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The tribute to Bray Wyatt with the lantern and the door was perfect. The Wyatt family out there was awesome, and everything backstage was just next level. That was cinema. Ghostface says, I'm hooked. No bliss for now. All in all, I'm excited for where this is going. And this is a very interesting point. Alexa Bliss was obviously heavily partnered with Bray Wyatt beforehand. And now that there's only 5, we have to ask the question, is the 6th person Alexa Bliss? Is the 6th person supposed to be like, I don't know, Bray Wyatt? Like in terms of like who that 6th person represents, right? Let me know in the comments. If I'm leaning towards something, I still think we're going to get a 6th person down the line. I think Alexa is going to be a part of this story, and they're just saving Alexa's return as like another part of this story, because if they just gave us all of them at once, I feel like it would have been a little overwhelming, especially since Alexa is such a big star. So push her return down the line just a little bit, let this group get the attention, and then maybe roll into whatever Alexa's got going on. Or maybe Alexa just isn't a part of this story anymore. I don't know. And our last comment is by Alex Fleener right here saying, I honestly teared up after I got done with the shock. I think it was amazing just how thoroughly they went through with the presentation. Just overall completely exceeded my expectations of what was going to happen without making it super silly, mystical stuff. Now, what I will say is I remember the lead up to this. A lot of people were talking about how this Wyatt group or this Uncle Howdy group was going to be rooted in more reality than the original group was planned to be. I don't know what that means then. If that's the case, if this is the group, like just in reality, and I don't want to know what the other thing was. Like, this is about as supernatural as you can get. They've got a bunch of masks. There's a bunch of freaky people, and there was a murder backstage. There was literally a murder backstage. So to me, this is still heavily supernatural. I'm sure there's going to be some crazy supernatural elements to this whole gimmick. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, I wouldn't say that this is rooted in reality by any means. But that's what you thought about the Wyatt Sick6 return to WWE, because apparently that's their actual name, the Sick6. So let me know your thoughts on this entire group down in the comments below. I look forward to reading all of your comments. But yeah, my entire thoughts on this is just, I'm so incredibly happy that they did this. I'm glad that this is back. I'm glad that Bray Wyatt's legacy gets to live on through this Wyatt group. It's just so touching, so amazing. What a time to be a wrestling fan. But make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Turn on those notifications so you never miss another upload. And once again, leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite moment from Bray Wyatt's history, whatever it may be. Let's pay homage to that man down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Wow, that was incredible.